This is the Google Pixel 6, a premium phone from Google that was released around 2.5 years ago. It was launched at $600, but today you can get it refurbished for around $170. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but you shouldn't spend more than $200. So it plays around the lower budget phone range. But is this still worth buying today in 2024? In this video, we are going to look at reasons to buy and reasons not to buy the Google Pixel 6 in 2024. And if at the end of the video you'd like to buy one, links for where you can get this phone are down in the description below. First reason that could push you to buy the phone is its screen. Google equipped it with a 6.4-inch OLED display, which by today's standards might seem kind of medium size, but honestly, I think it's perfect. It's big enough to really enjoy movies and games, but not so big that it feels like a giant in normal hands. It's a gorgeous OLED panel, offering some of the best colors and visuals you can find on any phone, even compared to some pricier options out there in 2024. The resolution is super sharp at Full HD+, with 1080 by 2400 pixels, which is better than anything you'd find in a budget phone these days, and it's even on par with some flagships. The refresh rate is 90Hz and it's adaptive, so it can jump between 60Hz and 90Hz depending on what you're doing on your phone. So you get a super responsive experience when you're scrolling through social media or gaming, but it also helps conserve battery life when you're just reading an article or checking email. The display is also fantastic for watching videos. It's HDR10 Plus certified, so you'll get stunning colors and dynamic range when you're streaming your favorite shows on Netflix or YouTube. To sum it up, this display is still one of the best out there, even compared to phones coming out today at the $200 price point. It offers a smooth 90Hz refresh rate for a super responsive feel, super accurate colors that make everything look amazing, and good brightness levels so you can see everything clearly even on a sunny day. Considering the more affordable price tag compared to some newer models, this display is a real steal. Let's move on to another reason the Pixel 6 is a great buy in 2024. Build quality. The phone has Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and Gorilla Glass 6 at the back and an aluminum frame. So unless you intentionally want to break the phone, it will be durable enough to withstand 99% of all accidental drops. It also has IP68 dust and water resistance, shielding the phone from such elements. In short, the Pixel 6 is a really well-built phone. The materials are top-notch, and the design feels like it will stay looking sharp for a long time. Compared to today's budget offerings, it's in a whole different league. If you're looking for a phone that can handle the occasional fumble without breaking, and you don't want to break the bank, the Pixel 6 is a fantastic option. Now let's talk about the camera, which is another area where the Pixel 6 continues to impress, even against phones that are a couple years newer. Google has packed this phone with a triple camera system, and it punches way above its weight class. If you're considering the price range we're talking about, it has a 50 megapixel main lens, 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and an 8 megapixel selfie snapper. The 50 megapixel main sensor shines in capturing crisp and detailed photos. Even in low-light situations, where almost all budget phones start to struggle, the Pixel 6 holds its own. It's not winning any awards for the best low-light camera in 2024, but it will still take clear and balanced pictures. When it comes to video, the rear camera can record video in 4K resolution at 60 fps, and you'll get amazing detail and video stabilization. Overall, the camera system on the Pixel 6 is fantastic, especially considering the price tag. It takes vibrant, detailed photos with accurate colors, and it holds its own against even some current mid-range and flagship phones. It is not the best in the world currently, but it's really capable, and it's better than the $200 phone you own right now by far. To put it simply, you won't be disappointed with the camera on the Pixel 6. Another reason to consider this phone is its performance. The Pixel 6, together with the Pixel 6 Pro, pioneered Google's first-gen Tensor chipset, which, while not the absolute best on the market, did pretty nicely against other 2021 flagships. In day-to-day use, you won't be disappointed. The phone handles everyday tasks and apps smoothly, and that 90Hz refresh rate definitely helps things feel nice and responsive. Scrolling through social media or browsing the web feels fluid and enjoyable. You see, Google prioritizes efficiency over raw power with their phones. They are not necessarily chasing the absolute fastest benchmark scores, but are rather focusing on creating a well-rounded experience, and the Tensor chipset delivers on that promise. This processor has many machine learning capabilities, and it gives Pixel phones exclusive features such as voice typing, live translate, and calling assist. But back to performance in general, the Tensor chip can handle most things you throw at it without struggling. It performs almost similarly with the likes of the Snapdragon 888 or the Dimensity 9000 processors. You won't get any performance hiccups with the phone. The phone also comes with 8GB of RAM, which is plenty for multitasking, and you get either 128GB or 256GB of storage depending on the model you choose. There's no expandable storage here, but for most users, 128GB should be enough. The bottom line? In terms of performance, the Pixel 6 blows any other phone you'd find at the $200 price point out of the water. Here's another big reason to consider the Pixel 6: software. This phone launched with Android 12 back in 2021, and it's already been updated all the way to the current Android 14, with Android 15 on the way too. Also, back when Google announced the Pixel 6, they promised 5 years of security updates, so you've still got at least 2 to 3 years of security patches left in the tank, keeping your phone safe from the latest threats. And unlike other Android manufacturers that have slower updates for older devices, Pixels usually get prioritized treatment. You'll be among the first to experience the newest Android versions with their performance improvements and features. Speaking of software, Google Pixel phones are known for their clean, bloatware-free interface. You won't find any unnecessary apps pre-installed, just the good stuff from Google. On top of that, Pixel phones come with some unique features you won't find anywhere else. One of my favorites is Magic Eraser, which lets you magically remove unwanted objects from your photos with just a few taps. There's also call screening, which basically gets rid of spam calls. Another reason to buy the Google Pixel 6 is the availability of 5G internet connectivity. Over the past few years, 5G networks have been expanding rapidly around the world, and it's only going to become more widespread in the last couple of years. So if you're thinking of getting a phone that will last you a while, having 5G capability is a smart move. Most phones at that budget price still don't have 5G, and while that may still be okay, it doesn't hurt having it. The final reason to consider buying the Google Pixel 6 is wireless charging. This is a feature you typically see on more expensive phones, so it's a real treat to get it at this price point. It also supports reverse wireless charging, so if your smartwatch is running low on juice, you can simply place it at the back of your Pixel 6 and share some of your battery power. Even if you don't use it all the time, it's a handy feature to have in your back pocket, especially considering most budget phones wouldn't even dream of offering it. So we've talked about a lot of great things about the Pixel 6, but it wouldn't be fair if we didn't mention a couple of areas where it might not be the perfect fit for everyone. The first reason not to buy the phone is its battery. The Pixel 6 came out with a 4614 mAh battery, which is pretty decent at the time. However, there are a couple of things to consider. 1. The Tensor chip, while powerful, has had some reports of overheating issues, which can lead to battery drain. 2. All phone batteries degrade a little bit over time, so a phone that did more than 2 years old will obviously not hold a charge as quite as long as it did when it was new. The Pixel 6 also ditches the SD card slot, which might be a deal breaker for some people. With high-resolution photos and 4K videos becoming the norm, phone storage fills up faster than ever. Apps are getting bigger too. Without an SD card, you rely solely on the phone's internal storage. While the Pixel 6 offers 128GB and 256GB option, heavy users, especially those planning to keep the phone for a few years, might even find 256GB a little limiting. At $170, the Pixel 6 is an amazing pick and a solid buy. It punches well above its weight class in almost every category, offering a gorgeous display, a fantastic camera system, smooth performance, the latest software updates, and even some bonus features like wireless charging you wouldn't typically find at this price point. The battery life and lack of SD card support could be issues, but for the vast majority of people on a tight budget, the Pixel 6 offers incredible value. So if you're on a tight budget and are still looking for that great experience, then this phone is good for you. What other older phone should you talk about? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm Milan and this is Fuzzy Tech. Subscribe.